Philippines' wealthy women have proven once again that real estate is not gender-specific. The houses owned and managed by these wealthy women reveal the ultimate in Filipino luxury. These are real billionaire mansions, and they are massive. And make sure you stay till the end because the last two will definitely catch you by surprise. 4. Imelda Marcos' Lindenmere Estate. This kickoff takes us far from the familiar enclaves of Manila and into the quiet waterfront stretches of Long Island, where one of the most controversial figures in Philippine history once secured a sprawling sanctuary that very few people even knew existed. Imelda Marcos, the former First Lady whose name became synonymous with extravagance, secretly acquired the 8.2-acre Lindenmere Estate in Center Moriches during the early years of the 1980s. At the time, she was still known internationally for grand displays of wealth, and this secluded estate, hidden behind lush trees and distant from public view, fit that image with almost cinematic precision. Reports would later show that Imelda the property was purchased between 1981 and 1982 for a staggering $19 million, and the secrecy surrounding the deal only added to its mystique. When the Marcos family fell from power in 1986, the estate quickly became part of the global search for hidden assets, and by 1987, the Philippine government had seized it. Yet the story of Lindenmere stretches back long before Imelda ever walked through its doors. The estate was built in 1916, originally designed as a grand hotel before later functioning as a bed and breakfast. This early purpose shaped its architecture in extraordinary ways. It carried 14 bedrooms, 17.5 bathrooms, and wide corridors that seemed built for both opulence and movement. Its ceilings soared high, giving each room a sense of dramatic vertical space, and its long hallways hinted at a past full of guests, gatherings, and the soft murmur of conversations drifting from one wing to another. Even as ownership changed over decades, the mansion retained a distinct early 20th century charm that blended well with its evolving identity. When Imelda arrived, the estate took on a new aura. One of the most striking elements of Lindenmere was its glass-enclosed pagoda-style pool house, a structure that seemed designed purely for theatrics. Sunlight hit the glass from every angle, making the pool shimmer throughout the day and glow at night. The mansion also commanded wide views of Moriches Bay, a calm, expansive stretch of water that made the property feel miles removed from the world. It was easy to imagine Imelda standing beside those windows, gazing across the water with the same sense of spectacle that defined her public persona. At one point, developers drafted plans to turn the historic estate into a set of condominiums, a transformation that would have reshaped its identity entirely. But those plans were abandoned when the Marcoses chose to keep the mansion for personal use, once again reinforcing the idea that the estate was more of a private refuge than investment venture. By the time the property was finally sold in 1996 for $1.6 million, the enormous difference between the purchase price and the selling price became part of the larger narrative surrounding the Marcos family's finances. Years later, when the estate resurfaced on the market at $4.99 million, public interest reignited, not only because of its architecture, but also because of the history that clung to its walls. Lindenmere had become more than a house. It had evolved into a physical reminder of a turbulent era in Philippine politics. It symbolized excess, secrecy, and the reach of influence that stretched across continents long before the era of digital scrutiny. And yet, beyond the controversies, it remains impossible to ignore the atmospheric pull of Lindenmere itself. Imagine its grand rooms filled with soft light, its long corridors echoing with quiet footsteps, and its vast windows framing the shifting colors of Moriches Bay. The estate has a way of asserting its presence even in imagination, as if the walls and corridors still carry a memory of every era they have witnessed. One can picture the grand rooms washed in soft, shifting light, sunlight filtering through tall windows in the early hours and fading into a muted glow as evening settles in. The long corridors seem designed for quiet reflection, their polished floors echoing with restrained footsteps, while the vast windows open outward to frame the ever-changing colors of Moriches Bay, where water and sky appear to meet in a constant, wordless conversation. There is a strange and haunting poetry in picturing Imelda Marcos moving through those spaces. The image is layered with contradiction. On one level, she is surrounded by the unmistakable beauty of the architecture, by the symmetry, scale, and craftsmanship that define Lindenmere as one of the most elegant estates of its time. On another level, she is enclosed by the weight of history, by decades of political turbulence, public scrutiny, and unresolved questions that follow her name wherever it appears. The house becomes more than a residence in that moment. It becomes a stage where luxury and legacy quietly confront one another. Lindenmere's elegance feels almost deliberate in its contrast to the political upheaval connected to its ownership. The calm of the bay, The refined balance of the interiors and the almost serene isolation of the estate seem worlds apart from the protests, investigations, and global attention tied to the Marcos era. This tension is precisely what makes the property so compelling. It embodies the uneasy coexistence of beauty and controversy, of private splendor set against public consequence. To imagine Lindenmere is to imagine a place where silence carries meaning. The rooms do not simply display wealth, but suggest endurance, having stood through shifting political climates and changing narratives. As one of the most notable properties ever linked to Filipino public life, Lindenmere exists not just as real estate, but as a symbol. It reflects how power, excess, memory, and history can become inseparably bound to physical space, leaving behind an estate that feels both breathtaking and unsettling at the same time. There is a strange poetry in picturing Imelda Marcos wandering through those spaces, surrounded by the weight of history, the beauty of the architecture, and the contradictions of her own legacy. The estate's elegance stood in stark contrast to the political upheaval connected to its ownership, making it one of the most compelling properties tied to Filipino public life. Today, Lindenmere stands as a silent witness to decades of power, ambition, and controversy. As the estate continues to sit along Mariches Bay, its legacy remains intact, offering curious onlookers a glimpse into a past filled with grandeur and shadows in equal measure. Up next, we return to the Philippines for a glimpse inside a residence shaped by the quiet prestige of one of Manila's most exclusive enclaves. Are you ready? 3. Josephine Gochan's mansion. Deep inside the peaceful and upscale neighborhood of Ayala Alabang sits one of the most quietly powerful homes in the country, the mansion of Josephine Gochan Yap. At first glance, it blends perfectly with the calm streets and tall trees. But once you get closer, you start to feel the difference. This is not an ordinary executive home. This is the kind of mansion built by a woman who runs one of the biggest conglomerates in the Philippines and carries the legacy of a family that helped shape the modern real estate landscape. Every corner whispers influence, every section reflects discipline, and every detail communicates generational wealth that does not need to shout to be noticed. The house sits on a lot so large that a person could walk for several minutes and still not reach the other end. Wide, perfectly paved driveways lead to a facade that looks both classic and contemporary, like a home that grew over time but never grew outdated. Tall glass windows allow sunlight to pour in through the day, illuminating the clean lines and soft textures of the exterior. Thick trees stand guard around the property, giving the place a level of privacy that even celebrities would envy. This is the kind of mansion where you immediately feel that important conversations happen inside, conversations about billion-peso deals and big decisions that shape industries. Once you step inside, the mansion reveals its true character. The foyer opens into a grand receiving area with towering ceilings and walls finished in warm earth tones. The floors shine with a smoothness that tells you they were not just expensive but also maintained with care. The furniture is elegant but not loud, expensive but not flashy, and arranged in a way that makes the room feel spacious without feeling empty. Everything flows together, giving the space a calm, confident energy. It feels like the home of someone who has nothing to prove because their success already speaks loudly in the outside world. The main living room is a wide open space designed for large gatherings. It has long sofas, polished wooden accents, and soft gold lighting that makes every evening look peaceful. The place feels like a sanctuary where Josephine can retreat after long days of overseeing companies that operate hotels, real estate, power generation, and banking. The way the room is arranged makes it clear that family time matters just as much as business, and that quiet moments are treasured equally with boardroom victories. The dining area sits just a few steps away, connected to the living room through a seamless open layout that makes the entire space feel fluid and welcoming. There is no hard division between where conversations begin and where meals are shared, which gives the room a natural rhythm. At the center stands a long dining table, generous in size and clearly designed for formal dinners, extended gatherings, and moments when the house fills with guests. Yet despite its scale, it does not feel intimidating. There is a warmth to the setup that makes it just as suitable for quiet family meals, where conversations linger long after the plates have been cleared. Above it all, the chandeliers hang with quiet confidence. They are not overly extravagant or attention-seeking, but they cast a soft glow that adds a layer of refinement, subtly elevating even the simplest meal into something that feels intentional and special. Just beyond this space, the kitchen opens up in a way that immediately signals abundance and ease. It is massive, thoughtfully laid out, and equipped with modern appliances that reflect both functionality and taste. Wide counters stretch across the room, offering ample space for preparation, presentation, and casual conversations while meals come together. Cooking here feels less like a task and more like an experience, the kind that invites creativity rather than rushing it along. Even the service kitchen carries the same sense of polish. It resembles something taken straight out of a high-end restaurant, built to support large-scale hosting while still maintaining the home's overall elegance. The bathrooms continue this theme of quiet luxury. They feel less like functional spaces and more like personal spa suites, complete with large mirrors, wide sinks, glass shower enclosures, and deep soaking tubs that invite long, unhurried evenings. Every detail suggests intentional design for long-term comfort rather than fleeting display. Altogether, the mansion carries a lived-in yet polished feel. A home built not just to impress, but to sustain a life of ease and privacy. The dining area sits just a few steps away, connected to the living room through a seamless open layout. A long dining table takes center stage, large enough to seat several people for formal dinners, but still warm enough for simple family meals. The chandeliers above are not overly extravagant, but they add a layer of sophistication that makes every meal feel special. The kitchen is massive, equipped with modern appliances and wide counters that turn cooking into a pleasurable experience instead of a chore. Even the service kitchen looks like something lifted out of a high-end restaurant. As you move deeper into the mansion, you discover the private areas of the home. The bedrooms are designed with comfort in mind, each one featuring soft lighting, thick curtains, and spacious layouts. Walk-in closets provide enough space for entire collections of clothes, shoes, and accessories. The bathrooms look like spa suites with large mirrors, wide sinks, glass shower enclosures, and deep soaking tubs that promise long, quiet evenings away from the rush of corporate responsibilities. Every space is built not for show, but for long-term comfort, which gives the mansion a lived-in yet polished feel. The backyard is also a masterpiece of peaceful luxury. There is a large swimming pool surrounded by carefully landscaped gardens. The water reflects the trees above and the clean lines of the mansion, making the whole area look like a resort. Stone pathways curve gently around the yard, leading to shaded seating areas where guests can relax during gatherings. Everything is designed to promote relaxation and togetherness, a stark contrast to the high-pressure world Josephine operates in daily. Yet the most impressive thing about this mansion is not its size, its design, or its luxury additions. It is the powerful silence it carries. The house feels like the physical form of Josephine Gochan and Yap's leadership style. The Feig family is known for discipline more than extravagance, and this mansion mirrors that perfectly. It is elegant without being, and luxurious without stepping into unnecessary flashiness. People often say that a home reflects its owner, and in this case, it could not be more accurate. This Ayala Alabang mansion stands as a symbol of a woman who helped expand one of the most influential real estate empires in the country, yet still chooses to live in a space that highlights timeless elegance. And if you think this mansion is impressive, wait until you see the next home where old money elegance meets surprising modern flair. 2. Sharon Cuneta's residence. High up in the peaceful, rolling parts of Silang, Cavite, inside the exclusive Ayala Westgrove Heights community, sits one of the most heartwarming yet luxurious celebrity homes in the Philippines. It belongs to none other than the megastar herself, Sharon Cuneta. The place may not scream power the way political compounds do, but it radiates something equally strong, a mix of warmth, success, and legacy that spans decades. Right from the gate, you can already tell this is the home of someone who has lived a life filled with milestones, yet still chooses comfort over extravagance and soul over spectacle. The residence is tucked within a spacious lot, surrounded by tall trees and soft hills that give the property a calm, fresh atmosphere you simply cannot find in the crowded parts of Metro Manila. This is not the kind of place where traffic noise bleeds into daily life, or where neighboring buildings crowd your view. Instead, the air feels noticeably lighter, almost as if the space itself encourages you to slow down and breathe more deeply. The surrounding greenery creates a calm, fresh atmosphere that feels closer to a private retreat than a celebrity enclave. There is a quietness here that settles into your senses, making the property feel protected from the rush and pressure of the outside world. Stepping inside, the scale of the interior becomes immediately apparent. High ceilings open up the main living areas, creating a feeling of spaciousness that never crosses into emptiness. Sunlight pours through the large windows throughout the day, shifting gently across the floors and walls, giving the space a warmth that makes it feel alive. The atmosphere strikes a rare balance, luxurious in its finishes yet undeniably lived in, as though the house was designed first and foremost for real life rather than display. Comfortable sofas are arranged across from one another, forming an inviting space that encourages connection. This is clearly a room meant for long conversations that drift late into the evening, for movie nights that stretch past midnight, and for family gatherings that unfold without anyone checking the time. There is an ease to the layout that makes you want to sit, stay, and settle in. It is easy to imagine the megastar herself in this space, relaxed and fully at home. You can picture her seated on one of those sofas, surrounded by loved ones, her laughter filling the room in a way that feels warm and unguarded. It is the kind of laughter that comes from a life deeply lived, shaped by triumphs, challenges, and stories worth sharing. In moments like that, the house feels less like a symbol of fame and more like a sanctuary, a place where success gives way to comfort, connection, and quiet joy. The air feels lighter here, and the quietness makes the whole area feel like a retreat center rather than a celebrity enclave. As you approach the house, the elegant structure begins to unfold. The facade is modern with clean lines, wide glass windows, and warm earth-tone finishes that blend perfectly with the natural surroundings. It gives off the kind of beauty that does not fight for attention, but naturally draws your eyes in. The high ceilings open up the room, and sunlight pours through the large windows, creating an atmosphere that feels both luxurious and lived in. Comfortable sofas sit across from each other, perfect for long conversations, late-night films, and family gatherings that last for hours. You can almost imagine the megastar herself sitting on one of those couches, surrounded by loved ones, laughing the way only someone who has lived a full life can laugh. The living room flows effortlessly into the dining area, which is just as warm and inviting. A long table stands at the center, ready for family meals, special celebrations, and quiet dinners after long days on set. The lighting casts a soft glow that makes the whole space feel intimate even though it is wide and open. Right beside it is the kitchen, designed with modern appliances, spacious counters, and a layout that allows both simple meals and full spreads to happen smoothly. Everything feels practical yet stylish, clearly arranged with real daily life in mind and not just aesthetics. Sharon's own bedroom reflects her personality perfectly, a blend of elegance and comfort with carefully chosen decor that gives the space a peaceful, calming energy. The walk-in closet is impressive, filled with years of memories in the form of clothes, shoes, and accessories from concerts, movies, endorsements, and appearances across her long career. Each piece likely carries a story of a performance, an award night, or a major film moment that shaped Philippine entertainment. The bathrooms feel like mini spa rooms with clean finishes, wide mirrors, and spacious layouts that allow long, quiet moments away from the busy world outside. Everything is designed to make relaxation effortless, something that feels truly earned for someone who has spent more than 4 decades in the spotlight. But the magic of this mansion extends beyond the walls of the house. Step into the backyard, and you find yourself in a refreshing open space that feels like a resort. A swimming pool glistens in the center, perfect for family bonding days and peaceful afternoon swims. The surrounding garden is filled with green spaces, flowering plants, and areas where Sharon can spend time with her pets, unwind, or simply take in the quiet countryside breeze. There are corners that feel almost hidden, perfect for reading, journaling, or talking with family and close friends. Ayala West Grove Heights itself adds another layer of luxury to the residence. The community is known for its strict security, wide open roads, and beautiful landscape. It is one of the top choices for wealthy families who want privacy and space without giving up modern convenience. Sharon's home fits this setting perfectly. It is elegant without being intimidating, luxurious without being loud, and filled with heart instead of unnecessary show. What makes this mansion truly special is the life inside it. This is where Sharon creates memories with her husband and children, celebrates milestones, and finds peace away from the cameras. This is where she builds a slower kind of life, one that balances her legendary career with moments of real quiet and clarity. Unlike the massive estates built solely to flaunt wealth, Sharon's West Grove residence is built to hold love, growth, healing, and new beginnings. It is a home that reflects a woman who has faced triumphs, heartbreaks, victories, and reinventions. A woman whose name has echoed across Philippine entertainment for generations, yet still chooses to live in a place that reminds her of simplicity, grounding, and the importance of family. And just when you think you have seen serene luxury, the final home shows you what happens when absolute privacy meets unbelievable grandeur. 1. Jinkee Pacquiao's Forbes Park Mansion. Right in the heart of Mataki stands a mansion that embodies the perfect fusion of luxury, personality, and high-profile fame. This is the home of Jinkee Pacquiao, wife of boxing legend turned Senator Manny Pacquiao, and it is one of the most talked about celebrity residences in the Philippines. From the moment you arrive at the grand entrance, it is clear that this property is not just a house but a statement. Tucked behind tall walls and guarded gates, it occupies a 2,000 square meter lot with a 4-car garage signaling both practicality and prestige. Its latest listing price of 1.5 billion pesos, after a previous valuation of 708 million pesos, is a figure that immediately grabs attention and sets the tone for what lies inside. The mansion is famously known as the Zen-inspired luxury mansion, a name that hints at its unique aesthetic. It perfectly blends tropical modern design with a serene, resort-like atmosphere. The interiors were designed by Bougie plus Royal Architecture, the creative minds behind the Philippine Pavilion at Dubai Expo 2020, and the results are nothing short of spectacular. Every space feels intentionally crafted to merge elegance with comfort. The Arcadian-style build spans 1,500 square meters, yet the house never feels overwhelming. Instead, it radiates calm sophistication. One of the most striking features of the home is its pool, positioned to maximize the tropical vibes and the seamless indoor-outdoor flow that defines the mansion. Surrounded by lush landscaping, the pool area is designed for both relaxation and entertaining, a perfect space for family gatherings or quiet mornings. The corridors of the house are another standout element. Here, boxing memorabilia fills the walls, a tribute to Manny Pacquiao's storied career, and the items are displayed in a way that feels personal rather than museum-like. From championship gloves to framed photographs capturing key victories, the collection adds a lively human touch to an otherwise highly curated space. The mansion's earlier design contributions by Anton Mendoza are evident in the subtle details, the gentle curves of archways, the thoughtful placement of light fixtures, and the flow between indoor and outdoor areas. Each room connects naturally to the next, creating a rhythm that makes the home feel alive while still maintaining a sense of privacy. Living areas are vast but intimate, with open layouts that invite movement and conversation. The dining area is spacious enough to host large gatherings, yet the arrangement of furniture and lighting keeps the space warm and approachable. The kitchen is a showpiece of modern functionality, featuring top-of-the-line appliances and large countertops that make cooking a shared experience rather than a chore. Bedrooms in the mansion are equally impressive, offering personal retreats for each family member. The master suite is particularly noteworthy, combining elegance, comfort, and a touch of celebrity flair. High ceilings, plush furnishings, and carefully chosen decor create an environment where style and relaxation coexist effortlessly. Walk-in closets provide ample storage for an extensive wardrobe, while bathrooms are fitted with luxurious fixtures, glass showers, and soaking tubs designed for unwinding in style. Even the smaller bedrooms reflect the same attention to detail, offering family members a sanctuary within the larger home. The Pacquiao family maintains properties in General Santos, Laguna, and Los Angeles, yet Forbes Park remains their premier urban retreat. The community itself is synonymous with wealth and exclusivity, often described as a billionaire enclave where privacy and prestige are paramount. Living here allows the family to enjoy all the benefits of city proximity while maintaining a sense of seclusion that is increasingly rare in Metro Manila. The mansion is a hub for hosting friends, dignitaries, and family alike, offering spaces that accommodate both celebration and quiet reflection. Outdoors, the property continues to impress. Landscaped gardens, terraces, and seating areas create spots for relaxation, exercise, and socializing. Every element has been thoughtfully positioned to maximize views, light, and privacy. It is clear that every inch of this residence was designed with both aesthetic and practical considerations in mind, merging lifestyle, luxury, and personal history into one cohesive whole. The mansion tells a story of achievement, family, and taste, all wrapped up in a space that is undeniably striking without being ostentatious. In the end, Jinkee Pacquiao's Forbes Park mansion is a personal statement of success, style, and family life at the highest level, proving that even in a city packed with luxury residences, some homes manage to stand out for their soul as much as their splendor. If you enjoyed this tour into the lives of Philippines' mega-rich, don't forget to like and drop a comment telling us which mansion blew your mind the most. Till next time, bye for now.